Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Spotlight series. My name is Claudia Thompson, and today I'm here with Chris Elms, the founder of Saltie Sports and Elmstr. Welcome to the show. It's really nice to have you.
Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me along.
Fantastic. Why don't you start by telling us how you got where you are and everything in between?
Okay, yeah. So I founded A1 Sports Group, which has two brands under that umbrella, which like you said, is Saltie Sports and Elmstr, and we are online sports brands. Saltie Sports being water sports, so we our main products are changing robes and paddle boards, and we do dry bags, and we're adding to that sort of list of products this year. So that was the first brand we started under this about 3 years ago now. And the second brand we launched, Elmstr, which is selling products into sort of the football sort of ball sports market. So we have partnerships with some professional rugby teams, football teams, with some products that we sell direct to their fans and supporters. Previous to that, I was ran my own gyms for 18 years before getting out of that and starting this venture.
Fantastic. And you're clearly a serial entrepreneur. What do you think is the secret to a good company, or how do you grow a company?
I like to follow. There's three kind of sort of key aspects. One of them being the product, and whether that's a service, whether that's a product, to make sure that's the best it possibly can be. So yeah, we're everything that we sell, we're making sure it matches kind of sort of the market leaders, and so yeah, product. We're always kind of sort of look to constantly improve. The other, well, we'll call it the 3 Ps, which is something I picked up from a program I once watched from America, and ever since I've watched that, I've followed the 3 Ps, which is product, process, making sure that we have the right processes in place, whether that be the marketing process, the sales process. So making sure we've got process in place to make everything simple. If we bring in staff, there's a simple process to follow, whether it's in the warehouse, picking, packing, to, like I said, the marketing process, sales process. So it's about sort of putting those in place and then constantly trying to sort of improve those. And then, most important is people. So it's always looking at the people you're employing. How can you improve their skill set? How can they kind of sort of help the business? But I think if you get those 3 things, the product, the people, the process, if you get those things correct, or I don't think it's ever 100% correct, but if you get those 3 things in place and they constantly kind of sort of evolve, then everything else kind of sort of falls into place. So they're the 3 areas I will always kind of sort of look to develop.
Fantastic. That's really useful. So the 3 Ps, I've already made.
I like to take credit for that, but I can't take credit. As I said, I picked it out from watching a program.
You can hear.
From the States.
Chris said it first.
Yeah, someone else said it. So I just took it.
And I'm going to pick you up on that 3rd P, people. What have been your biggest learnings as an employer since you started in business?
I think with the people side of things is recruitment and getting recruitment right initially, the training and the onboarding process, and I think once you've got that right person is not to kind of sort of micro manage them, let them kind of sort of get on with their job, let them in the same way I've done, learn by mistakes through running the business, help guide them, but other than that, it's let them kind of sort of do the job that you've given them to do. But I think when I first started 20 years ago with the gym side of things, I tried to do everything, and I was the trainer, the cleaner, the property agent, everything that was possible. I made sure that I was doing. It's nice to know everything that's going on in your business, but it doesn't grow like that. So it's getting people in sooner rather than later. And I think a lot of the concern at the start is, can you afford to? But if you want to grow, it depends where you want to take the business. If you want to grow it, you've got to get these people in to help grow the business. Now it's making sure that the onboarding, the recruitment side of things is right. The right person for the job, and then let them loose really in doing their bit. And if it's supports aspects whereby they're better than you, better than me at it, then great. It's finding those people that kind of sort of together kind of sort of make the business better.
And you mentioned it depends on where you want to take the business. So tell me, where do you want to take the business? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Yeah, we've got kind of sort of lots of plans with this business. As I said, we started kind of sort of the water sports side of things, and that's evolved into kind of sort of the second brand. We're looking at sort of growing the number of sports brands under the umbrellas to keep it kind of sort of online and the e-commerce side of things. We're direct to consumer with the products. So we're looking to introduce a few more brands into different sports. So the idea is to have a house of sports brands that may come together under one store, or online, offline, don't know yet, but the next kind of sort of few years, we're concentrating on the two brands we got, but also introducing a couple as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And that definitely sounds like a lot of work involved and a lot of busyness. Do you think work-life balance is even a thing as a business owner?
To some extent, I've always found it. I think if you're in the business and you're it's difficult to switch off. I've always found it difficult to switch off. I have 3 kids, all under I was going to say all under 10. The wife's not under 10, but the 3 kids are. So we have a 3-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. So trying to kind of sort of manage that, is a challenge, because you get home, you're running your business, you don't switch off. It's not like a 9 to 5. You're employed. You get home, and you can get on with whatever you're doing that evening, the next morning, and you're not switching back on to you're at work. I think I'm not alone with business owners where you are. You're waking up in the night, you go into bed with an idea, and you're like, tomorrow morning that idea continues. You want to get to work to kind of sort of implement that idea and plan, or discuss it with the team. So when you've got kind of sort of 3 kids running around and trying to get them to this club or that club, it's a challenge. But I've tried more so now. Another reason, going back to kind of sort of staff and getting them in place, that you can kind of sort of step away from it, knowing that it's in good hands, and you haven't got to worry for that week's holiday or the weekend or the evening. So it has been many years trying to kind of sort of get that sort of personal work-life balance, and juggling that side of things, for sure. But I personally, I don't switch off. Sometimes the wife's talking to me, but she knows I'm kind of sort of still at work, which is a challenge. But I enjoy it. I enjoy the hustle and bustle, and as I said, constantly looking at ideas, looking at implementing ideas within the business.
Yeah. So enjoying what you do and delegate what you can. Is that?
Yeah, as I said, definitely more so now with a young family, and as I said, to start with, with the gyms, before kids and stuff, it was doing 12, 15, 16-hour days, in the gym early, staying till late. It was didn't do anything else. Whereas now, having learned that side of things, getting staff in, as I said, that you can kind of sort of trust, that you can, if you've got those systems and processes and things in place, then that really has helped. Being able to kind of sort of go switch off either someone else is looking after it. But also other, systems, processes, software is also looking after a lot of other things as well. Yes, it's been easier to switch off, now. And I think having kids, definitely, made me put those systems, processes, recruitment side of things, in place.
Put them in place and take them seriously and stick to them.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
If you had to start again from square one, what would you do differently?
I would be a bit more sort of say take risks. I have done, and I think, but I would have trusted myself a little bit more. I think is the early stages you kind of sort of ask questions. Shall I do this? Shall I do this? And you've got sometimes no one to talk to, and you take too long to kind of sort of make decisions. I wish I'd made the decisions sooner, or a lot of decisions sooner, rather than later, and just gone with it. If it didn't work, you learn by it quicker, and make it better next time. So I think that's side of things, and also making sure you've got the right financials in place. Takes costs money to kind of sort of start a business, grow it. So it's making sure those side of things are in place, and I think it's very easy to kind of overestimate what can be done in a year. I think you want everything to kind of sort of happen really quick, and you think 5 years, 10 years is way down there, and I want to achieve this, and I think it's better to kind of sort of look at that 3-5 year plan, and actually that is achievable. But sometimes people have that and they underestimate what they can achieve over that time. So I think make sure they've got the right finances, making decisions, come to a decision quicker, which would be, going back to the employment side of things, is getting some more, getting funding, better funding in place to be able to employ people sooner, because it's that's kind of sort of grow the business and allow me to concentrate on sort of the more important stuff, and not kind of sort of the day-to-day picking, packing, and that side of things, and actually develop the business quicker, and faster. So yeah, that's what I do differently.
So would that be your main thing that you would do differently, to hire people to help you quicker?
Yeah, for sure. I think, as I said, if you kind of sort of bootstrap it, you're trying to do everything yourself, which is great, but that can't last forever, and it's a good thing to kind of sort of do to get started. But I think getting the right capital place, getting that extra help, to start with, and getting the right people in place.
And you touched on the financials there, and that's usually, when I speak to business owners, is the topic that people would like to avoid or hide away from. What would be your advice for maybe new business owners regarding financial management?
Good question. I don't have a problem with getting a business loan and looking at ways of raising capital if I am confident that I can borrow X amount and turn it into to X amount. So I don't have if you're confident in that side of things, I think there's a lot of options, a lot of ways, not necessarily kind of sort of high street banks. There's ways to kind of sort of raise the capital, and I think if it's right and it's right for your business, and you're confident in the idea, and I think that's why initially it's good to kind of sort of get a bit of traction to start with, and prove that the service, that the product sells, and then you give yourself that bit of confidence, and I suppose if the maths work, there are kind of sort of many options out there. And I've done, as I said, business loans, asset finance. I've raised investment, from angel investors and things. So we're looking at that side of things at this moment in time to grow this. So yeah, I think if you're confident you got, the idea works, it's the only option, you want to do it, go for it. I would say it's yeah, and also when it's kind of sort of paid off and things, yeah, the business is, in 5 years time, if if the finance is paid off, then that's all just money coming back. So it might be hard work for sort of 3-5 years, but as this business has grown and sales have increased, yeah, hopefully then, it's all positive.
Fantastic. I love it. Just go for it. That's always
Yeah.
a good message.
Yes, I think so.
In your experience, what are some common misconceptions that maybe other people have about running a business?
I think there's many, but I think one of them is the free time and well, you can do this stuff, I think, because you work for yourself, and the comments were, it's easy for you, you just there isn't free time. Yes, you haven't got sort of the strengths of, you've got to be there at 9 o'clock, but I panic if I'm not here at 9 o'clock. I panic if I'm not here before the staff. And it's so although you can be, you don't, and it's, and like I said earlier about sort of switching off, you're not away from the business. You're still sort of checking emails at kind of sort of 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and you're thinking about things you've got to do tomorrow. So I think, yes, talk to sort of friends, family, it's that, where you run your own business, so you can kind of sort of be and do and go where you want. And it's not that. You end up doing, especially at the start, you end up doing more hours for less pay really than the job you had previously, probably. I think most business owners are probably getting paid less than minimum wage if they took in all the hours they're doing, and what they're getting paid. So I think that's big misconception, I think, running a business.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and I can only agree with that, because that's the most common one, I think, that people think as soon as you're your own boss, then you have all the time, you constantly sit by the swimming pool sipping cocktails,
Exactly.
and just just
One
waiting
day,
for the money to roll in.
yeah, I don't think one day that'd be nice, and it'd be like, when you do achieve that, it's like, people then see that and think you've always had it like that, but to get to that stage, that it's the graft at the start and the risks, and it's the responsibilities, of whether it's meeting payroll or business bills or personal bills, it's that responsibility that it's kind of sort of on you, it's with you. So yes, in 10 years time it'd be nice to be in that position, but and I think the people that see that don't maybe appreciate the graph that you've put in at the start.
Mm-hmm. We only have Instagram to blame for that image.
That's true.
Fantastic, Chris. How can people find out more about what it is you do? How can they get in touch?
Yeah, if on the Saltie Sports website, that's SALTIE sports.com, and the Elmstr one is the LMSTR .com, and there are kind of sort of two brands. You need to get in touch, have a look at the products, have a look at that, or I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, Chris. It's been
No
really
problem at all.
enlightening.
Thank you.